Hello YouTube, I'm David with the David West channel. Well, I wanted to go ahead and make another steel. This was a great steel that I made, I think last year sometime. I'll put that video right up here. But I wanted something a little bit bigger. So I want to make one about a 1/2 inch longer. And as you can see, this is wider. I think this is about 7/8 of an inch, and this is like 1 1/8 in width. So you want to use all the personal protective equipment that you feel you need to. Wear some gloves, safety glasses, earplugs. Put your handle back in your side grinder. Put your guard back on your side grinder. Now this grinder is rated at 12,500 RPM. The disc is rated at 13,300. So I've been using these discs for lots of years, and there's been some controversy online that says, oh, these discs will explode. Well, I don't know. Maybe those pneumatic discs, as fast as they spin, as many RPM as they have, maybe they explode. But many years I've been using these cut-off discs and then regular grinding discs, and yes, they will crack this way, and you don't want to use it anymore, or a big chunk will come out of the edge and you'll feel particles hit your arm and stuff. But I have never in all my years had one of these types of grinding discs explode. Those people that talk about the exploding ones are talking about the pneumatic grinders that turn a whole lot more RPM. So let's go ahead and get started. And I want to go ahead and ease all of these edges. Now, this cutoff disc is not meant to be used on the face right here, but I have always used it for some mild grinding. I recommend that you don't use this, that you put back on the thicker blade meant for grinding. But I'm not going to be bearing down that hard on it. So I'm going to ease all these edges. I'm going to take those corners off, ease these edges, and then turn it over and ease all of these edges. So I'll turn you back on when I get done with it. Alright, this is where we're at so far. So I spent 20 minutes on it, easing all the edges, taking the corners off all the way around, and then exposing the logo. So it's time to drill a hole for our lanyard. I had a few people get on to me, say, why didn't you use a center punch when you drilled this hole? You see how far it drifted off center line? I did use a center punch. The tang is soft enough to drill, but I was right in that area where there must have been some hard spots in that metal. And even though I started off with a perfectly centered punch, it drifted off because of the hard places in that metal. So let's see if we can get a little more centered on this one when we drill it. All right, got a little more centered on this one. Let's go ahead and put the lanyard on it. We'll do the Cobra Weave. And we'll run it to the center. We'll come up about 2 inches right here, and we'll go ahead and start. Bring this one end around, and then this one comes over that one and goes through here. And you have to be very careful on the first one so that your cordage stays in the center. So be careful about tightening up this first knot. Now, I want my lanyard longer than this right here. So let's take that. I'm gonna take it back apart and start over. All right, this is what I ended up with. It's wider and it's longer than the other one. Let's go ahead and try it out. Yeah, I just got some pine needles here. Got like a ball of processed pine needles and a handle of unprocessed pine needles. Let's give it a try. Put the char cloth right on the edge. And we'll try it with this last piece. Now this is t-shirt char cloth, and it may not be as good as it could be. Let's try it. You always want to tear your char cloth in half. Get all those little threads exposed. I'm going to try to do this against my shirt so that you can see. Let me make sure I'm... So maybe you can see the sparks coming off of it.
Guess I need to spend a little more time on the tinder bundle, don't I? Sometimes it'll crush right up, turn right into a perfect tinder bundle. These right here, I think they still have a little moisture in them. These right here, takes a lot of work just to get them to break up a little bit. Let's try a couple more times, if I can get the tinder right. Now, let's see if we can do just as good.
And there's already a lot of good threads on this one, so I'll just fold it over. I'm going to go back to that same edge. It's still good and sharp right there. All right, watch against my shirt. See how many strikes it takes. All right. The first one was a 1 strike. The next one was 3 strikes. Let's see what it takes to get this one. This one here is kind of beat up and battered. Let's try this. Wow. Looks like this one's just going to be as good as this one. Alright, y'all. I appreciate you joining me on this one. We'll catch you on the next one.